This is the Isle of Skye video with me having rather scruffy hair in it and a shorter beard than what I currently have, but there we go.
And this is us chucking stones in the water. I can skim stones sometimes, Simon can't, so he makes do by chucking stones. This is me doing spoken word Idlewild. Got short hair, which isn't too bad, but I have a rather dodgy tash. I've never been able to grow a decent tash, but that was just unacceptable. With the creepy facial expressions to boot.
Yeah, these scenes, this was filmed at the hostel. It seemed like a funny idea at the time. I still find it amusing. I think Andrew finds it embarrassing.
Yeah,
I can see why.
It's because it's me, you know, I get self-conscious looking at myself sometimes. And there's Loch Scotland, a lot of photo montages in the, well, like individual photos. It was nicely done, you can see it being done. I don't need to explain it.
I like to try and do different things with the editing each time. I like to include some of the photographs I've taken to complement the footage, but at the same time just putting them into the videos in different ways. The reason we're filming this is because this loch looks like the map of Scotland, if kind of.
Whenever I've been on a work trip and we've gone via this route, I always point it out to whoever I'm going with. Unfortunately, I've been with the same optometrist 5 times, so she's probably bored of hearing the story.
Like, so. Oh no, we're coming out to that loch, fucking hell. I hate this place, fucking Andrew's talking shite about it again. Oh, here we go, this is the best. Actually, no, that's not even linked to what this scene is.
Yeah, this is McGrayburn Tours. The weather was horrible. I put on a silly voice. Didn't think it was going to get in, but lo and behold, it's in the video.
I think it's just because it's just so bleak, so miserable, and the rest of the whole... Because the way the photos are done, they all came out stunning, but we had these horrible periods of weather in between. It was kind of 1 minute sunny, 1 minute pishing it down. So the video kind of reflects that a bit better.
It's just making fun of Scotland and its weather and what you'll get on a tour around Scotland. This is where it went right weather-wise.
Yeah, you can kind of see the clouds coming back and forth to give you an idea, but this is a fun bit of road to drive.
It was a stunning viewpoint as well. You could see over to Wester Ross and stuff, and the Kerrang is a really interesting geological feature. You see a bit of it up there, and yeah, no, it's a fun road to drive.
I think we soundtracked with a bit of Saxon Shore, much to Andrew's objections.
I don't dislike them musically, just, I don't know, one of my stupid things. I thought there was 2 guys, one called Sax and another guy called Shore, but it was Saxon Shore, and then, I don't know, just doesn't matter.
Here we go. This is the best stone skimming you'll ever see. Ooh yeah.
Well, I ended up very wet because of that particular stone. We come here later on, I think, in the movie, and then we try and kill a donut.
See, if that last photo was taken in the East Nuke, and that would have won me so many accolades, but because it was taken on Skye, nobody gave a shit about it. You know, upturned boat, nice colours, but no, it was the wrong place at the right time.
Sewer grapes, Simon, sewer grapes.
The right place at the right time. That's just me making fun of Flickr and the way it seems to work. Well, I mostly do alright, so...
This is us doing a shell scene. We've kind of stopped doing those now because of a dearth of ideas, but this was kind of the logical conclusion to it in a way.
I think the problem is we felt a lot of this video was forced. Looking back at it, I find this one really funny, but at the time, neither of us enjoyed it as much as we should have done. I think that was because you were compounded with university stress and exams and stuff, and I'd just gone through some annoying personal shit that I won't get into any details of.
I can't believe the domino thing worked. I'm happy with that. Anyway, yeah, so we were both in a bit of a... And we also had the Orkney to compete with, so we felt like we were trying too hard at this one, but a lot of the stuff came out good anyway. Yeah. Just, it wasn't fun to make, but it was fun to watch. This was a bird that I filmed and forced Simon to do a voiceover. And I
think I'm actually attempting to sing here, so if you ever want to hear my singing voice, then this is the clip to watch, although I'm doing a singing voice in a funny voice.
I wouldn't describe it as great singing. This is the best sheep around the world is coming up, and we'll never top it.
This is still funny to watch even now. Just watching them running along, and you see the trail of shit dropping from them as they run away.
They were avoiding their bowels as they were running away. None of them had a clue just to get off the road onto that bit of ditch. They just kept running away. We were in hysterics at the time.
I think this was just one of those right place at the right time situations, just before the rain hit.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of things on the road I don't catch on camera, but I just happened to have it on. I think because I'd failed to film something else, it was in my hand, and then there they just appeared.
And they eventually pull into a passing place for us so we can get by and continue our drive along an A road of all things. It doesn't look like one, but it was.
Oh God, here's another one of these.
I don't know, I suppose these kind of static things, we can actually talk about other things whilst
Yeah.
they're going on. So the hostel, this was one of the best hostels we've stayed in, I think.
Yeah.
One of the best hostels I've stayed in.
We managed to, possibly, we don't know, offend some Germans. They might have heard us making a joke about. We were just doing a Dad's Army type parody called Guy and Hitler the Rag, and we forgot that we were next to some Germans.
Yeah, I don't. They were asleep, I think. They didn't seem too peeved with us, but we didn't mean any offence by I'm doing it for them. Here comes a shell. I can't remember what he's doing. That's not the one that makes the horrible noise when it hits the water, though.
This is the one that makes the really bad noise.
I think.
No,
It's later on in the video.
Yeah,
I can't remember what they were doing.
I liked this churchyard because, as Spiz would say, we had to search hard to get to it. It was a good find.
You say search, we just kind of took a walk somewhere and we found it. But yeah,
There's no reason to go down this glen other than just out of curiosity, and this is what we found.
I think I made a very bad joke at this point.
Yep, and I used some amazing cinematography skills to give the impression that I was about to jump off.
Dude, it's not that high, you would have. As long as you
Just
bend
watch.
your knees, you would have been fine.
Look, you would have believed I jump off that. Jumped.
Oh dear. I don't know why the text never quite lined up properly because I was using an original thing and then transplanting new text on for some reason it didn't work.
This is the Connell Bridge, is it?
Spey Viaduct.
Spey Viaduct. Where's the Connell? The Connell was the one we came up
Connell
on.
is
Yeah.
on the west coast.
I remember now. We did a whiskey and walking parody. Simon put on a Sean Connery voice, and
It wasn't a very good Sean Connery voice, but it did
it
a
was
job.
funny. The dialogue was good.
That viaduct is one of my favourites as well because it's, just look at it, it's a massive metal beast.
Not on Skye, I might add as well. That mountain there looked like Sylvan, but wasn't.
Here we go.
Oh, here's the infamous donut. We don't know what it is. It must be something to do with. I don't know.
And away it goes. So now it's floating, and I think to myself, we need to destroy that bit of plastic. It needs to be taken out of its misery.
It needs to be taken down to Chinatown. Sorry.
But needless to say, I'm not a very good aim when it comes to throwing things. It's probably why PE was never my special subject at school.
Nor was it mine. We like outdoor stuff. We like going for walks, but throw us into a sporting arena, and that's where we fail.
I'm sure this was done early 2012, so we still had the Olympics to look forward to. And everybody seems to think they were great, and I hated them. I hated every second it existed. But
It would be more watchable if they had an event where people threw boulders at donuts flowing in shallow rivers.
yeah, I'd watch that. Well, I'm watching it right now.
We'd be, you'd
I would.
be the world champion at it because you're the only one that does it.
World champion, but easily beaten.
This thing just wouldn't sink.
This
Not that
is,
Simon's throws were any good, but
dodgy jump cuts all over the place here where I just decided to...
because it was taking a bit long.
The idea was to get it in one hit, but it just went on and on and on and on.
We managed to push it right to the other side.
It's
of the
still
river.
not got it, it was still just kind of throwing it around.
That was it.
And it wasn't even a proper hit, it was just enough to kind of trap it there. The second the high water comes along, that'll be taken straight out because that bit's tidal.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go, that was quite a nice wee shot. I don't think I did post that one. But the reflections that day were stunning.
The really glassy sort of water is lovely around that area. And this is a weird place where they put these little cairns, little standing stone, sort of phallic looking things. But I think that was the month of Hurricane Bawbag.
Only one of them's phallic, and there it is.
Because they all used to be like that, but I think Hurricane Bawbag, which happened that same month, blew them all down.
Well, it happened in January, but I guess not many holidaymakers had come past this point.
Yeah.
It's more of a summer thing to stop here.
So there's a lot of these stones that have got crap little paintings on them.
I mean, I'd never actually been here until this. We'd always just stopped at the Clock Gary, which looks like a map of Scotland viewpoint. But you mentioned this was interesting, so we pulled into the side on the way.
Yeah, I wonder why people do this here, what the significance is. They even bring their own stones, because that's not local. I mean, where did that... You don't find that lying around here. But I went and broke it.
I think it was already broken. I don't think you should feel too guilty about that.
It's shit anyway, look at it.
I don't know, it's like those paintings in Brodie Ferry in the lamppost.
Yeah, it's...
Except at least nobody's paid for that. It's the kind of thing that you would have done in primary 1 at school and then taken it home to your parents and gone, look what I did, and they went, oh son, that was really good.
Oh, this is the shell. Oh, I broke it, and then threw it away and it makes the most
When
horrid
it
noise.
hits the noise, it goes... It's not even a good impression of it, but it makes this really horrible smashing, cracking noise.
This was the best shell we ever found.
Yeah.
The jaw was a bit broken after that, but when we first found it, it was intact. Put on a bit of music at this point.
He's got a bit of a grumpy face. I think it's the National playing the song Sadness, which has lyrics about I'll never go... Is it? I can't remember what it is, but it's... I found my body on the waves or something along those lines. I'll need to listen to it to know the exact lyrics.
You can see its wee eye there at the front. But
Body on the waves.
This was a little bit more scripted, a little bit more thought into this one compared to the Orkney ones, which were just funny voices. But both are really good. Oh, God,
those 3 signs. They're my Flickr avatar, Saber, and YouTube sort of avatars. So yeah, those signs are famous.
I don't get it. There's just scrubby looking signs. I mean, I don't get it. I really don't.
But they're so old and dated, and there's 3 of them together.
Oh wow, there's 3 of them together. I've changed my mind now. I'm glad you pointed that one out to me. Look at that there. That's what I was interested in, that rock formation over there. But he liked these. Those
are great. I spent ages taking photographs of them. I was completely ignoring the scenery and just purely focusing on the road signs. That's the whole reason I went on holiday to Skye.
There was another one when we went to Mull that was crap as well, and I think that's why we went there too.
Oh yeah, that was a pre-Wallboy sign we found on Mull. That was good. I like that. But that's the one. That's the only time we didn't get out the car. It was the only time it was just me taking photographs by myself because you don't bother about the sign. This is another one of those Idlewild scenes. I think this is when I argue I see shapes.
Yeah, me being a dork. I don't have that jumper anymore. I miss it.
What did you do with it?
Can't remember.
I mean,
what's with the teeth?
There's a lot of photos taken in this. Oh, this is the sort of last scene. I think this was meant to be an impression of the My Secret Is My Silence cover, which is why that song is playing at the background.
Cool and mountains behind there, looking lovely. Here's me doing a poem which I kind of overdid. I did too much work on it, but...
Yeah, you were getting quite stressed with that poem.
Yeah, which is why I'll never put that much effort into a closing sort of monologue again. But there's a bit of a treat coming up in a minute. It's a bit of a departure from the usual sort of solemn, serious sort of stuff we do at the end.
Because you always do this interesting sort of roundup of the video. I'm not very good at them, so I tend not to do them. So I'm not as spontaneous when it comes to thinking. I need to know what I'm going to say before I say it.
I need to do that a wee bit. There's usually a couple of takes before we get it right.
The only problem with this scene is I didn't get the tripod set up properly. I think we were just in a rush to get it done before the light left for the day.
Yeah.
And there we go. You think it's the end, you're sitting looking at the scene enjoying it, and then here I come to ruin the day. And I've come up with this really bad poem. See, the funny thing is, I actually memorised it, but I've got it on paper just so it looks worse than it is. So I knew what I was going to say, but I had it there just so it looked like I was failing miserably to remember the simplest of poems.
I think this poem was definitely the highlight because it's funny, you know, it's kind of contrast to maybe the over-pretentious poem I came up with this time. I don't know, I thought, maybe I was thinking at the time, maybe I have a career as a poet, but I definitely don't.
I've never been any good at that kind of thing, and here we go, the ending scene. This was recorded on the way onto Skye, which makes sense.
Coming out of Loch Alsh and then going over the Skye Bridge, and...
It was in fast forward. This is in fast forward. This is not just me driving stupidly fast. There's quite a nice sunset shot there. I was too lazy to put in credits, I really should have done. But I think, like I say, I can't be bothered editing. I didn't like this video at the time, and I can't be bothered editing it. So That's why we cheaped out on this point.
This is us coming down back from the road from the Fairy Glen.
Actually, no, this is the road we took because we thought it went there.
The wrong, yeah.
This road was a nightmare to drive. It was just potholes and heavy. I mean, it was fun in that respect, but it was the wrong way. We got to the end and realised we just went to a farm somewhere.
It's regrettable we never filmed anything at the Fairy Glen, but there is hope. We're coming up with Skylander 2, The Quickening, and that's coming out in March when we go there, hopefully.
Unless the weather puts us off for whatever reason.
I don't think it will. We'll be fine.
As long as it's not huge snow. So there we go, that's the end of the video. Nice wee night shot I did there, just to close things off on, and that was Skye.
Lovely view of Carbost. Would they do a nice fish there? Sorry, I ruined that bit, didn't I?